So I don't know about you, but I've been seeing the rise of Gen X and the over 40s crowd tapping into something on YouTube. Now, I'm part of that group, and obviously the numbers on YouTube show that the over 35 demographic is the fastest growing. But they're tapping into something unusual, and I've seen a rise of channels in the last 6 months to the last year. And I really wanted to try and understand why. What is going on here? Can anybody tap into this sort of style or medium or demand that's out there, even if you're not over 35 and part of the sort of Gen X crew? But I'm seeing it in all demographics over the sort of 35 group, and they're all doing something quite similar. Here, have a look at this. So you've got this guy here, which his name is Uncle Jammer Talks, and he's a subscriber on my channel, and he shared this with me, and hopefully he doesn't mind me sharing this. And shout out to Uncle Jammer Talks. He's got a really good brand new channel. So the speed at which he's growing is absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to show you what he's doing. So he sent me a message a while ago, maybe a month ago, and he was saying, I uploaded my first video 4 days ago, and it's already gotten nearly 400 views. And then he's going on about the most important thing is the comments he's gotten. So that's the thing. When you're tapping into a vein where you've got people are really connecting with it on an emotional or connection level is more authentic, you're going to see it in your comments. Your comments are going to be more engaging, more passionate, and more involved rather than just thank you or something like that. So you're going to see it on that level. But what I asked him to do is say to keep sharing it with me, keep telling me what was going on. And then he continued to share with me that he uploaded another video, and the progress obviously went on, implementing the strategies that I was showing within the channel, doing the sort of simplified granddad style content and other sort of strategies that I showed in the vlogging style that he was doing. And he started to grow and grow and grow. And he got a video that already, after a month, was hitting 20,000. And he was blown away and super excited. And so was I, to be honest. I love comments like this. So if you've had any success, please share them with me, because it's absolutely great. So I asked him to keep sharing, and then he kept updating me, and it was over 30,000. 4,000 hours of watch time, so he's officially monetized. And then he continued to share with me, and if I go to his channel now, he is absolutely exploded. And I think this was the video here. So he's got over 133,000. It's a complete outlier, and it's still absolutely exploding, and it's still getting 138 views per hour. And it's just a simple video of him walking along and sharing his thoughts and everything else. So just simple vlogging styles of content. Now, he's tapped into it. He continued to obviously do videos. He's continued to do videos on the same sort of topic, and they are performing well. But he's just talking about being alone, struggling to make sense of life, and he's speaking to a particular demographic. Now, it's not just this channel, that's the thing. I've got other ones within our community. We've got Sherry, she's officially monetized, and she's been doing very simple videos, uploading a video every other day, and she's been able to get results and starting to grow as well. So monetized and now able to start generating some money. We've got Peggy. Peggy's been creating and growing. She's been really drilling away at it, and now she's started to have a breakthrough video, and she's doing incredibly well. We've got another one here, 500 plus subscribers in a month, which is absolutely fantastic. Another one we've got here, nearly 500 subscribers again just in the first month. So these are all people that are over 40. Hopefully they're all over 40. I know most of them are well over 40, but if you're not, I apologize. But these are the authentic types of channels, and they're all tapping into different things. And what I wanted to do is try and break down, after looking at them, after looking at like Uncle Jammer Talks and the members in our community and what they're doing as well. And it is following the trend that I expected. Now, I've created a little diagram here. Hopefully you can see that I wanted to break down the 5 main reasons I think that this is the winning strategy. And, obviously, this is a channel I talk about vlogging. I talk about the vlogging strategies, simple types of vlog. You don't have to be outside. They can be inside and everything else. But I think the first reason that these are working is that they are authentic and real. You are connecting with people on a deeper level because you're sharing you're sharing your own sort of stories. You're sharing your personal things. You're opening yourself up, and you're speaking to those particular people directly. So that authenticity, I think, is obviously in huge demand. And I've mentioned this in other videos, but I think people are craving authentic content. You want to be there feeling like they're sharing something with you, like an insider secret, or insider experience or just being vulnerable as well. So it's really the authentic content, I think, is a big deal now. And this is where it's less about quality, because AI and everything is making everything look super polished. And we've had a huge amount of time where everybody's doing the highly polished dopamine style of videos. So I think people are really craving the authentic style of content. And, maybe Gen X are less worried about making things perfect and are just more happy to record on their phone and just go with it. They're okay with being, not looking perfect, not presenting themselves in an absolutely polished light. Whereas I think perhaps the younger demographic is a little bit more insecure. I may be completely wrong here. Obviously, younger demographic can be massively confident on camera, much more than us. But I think perhaps you're okay with being seen in a negative light. Many of this generation can remember not having mobile phones, not having the internet and everything else. So it's not such a big deal. So I think authentic content is much, much easier. The next one is experiences and stories. So this ties into the authentic and real part. And we've obviously heard YouTubers talk about their using stories and everything else. And these can be stories of yours, and they can be stories that are made up. And a lot of the time we are making stories and examples just work. But I think the benefit of being over 40, let's say, is that you probably, in most cases, had a lot of experiences, both good and bad. And often it's the bad experiences that people can relate to more. And if we were speaking to Uncle Jammer's video, he was talking about bullying and using very specific stories. And because it's stories related to him, he can share the emotions behind it. He can describe things in more detail. He doesn't have to invent things in his head, which means it feels like a very natural, real story. And it doesn't have to be the most interesting of stories. That's the thing. Boring is interesting to us if we can relate to it. So your stories and experiences that you have, and this I've spoken to this in the sort of granddad method, a bit like Grandpa Simpson in The Simpsons, where they're just meandering stories, but there is a point to it, at least in the beginning. Okay, maybe Grandpa Simpson, maybe he meanders a little too much. But the point is you have experiences and stories that you can pull on in your daily life and in your past. We may think, no, I don't. But as you get used to doing these basic storytellings, where you have a point and you relate it to a story that you have, you're able to connect with people more and make sense of that point. Otherwise, you just have a short video making a point, but it's not human. Our human brains work around stories, and how we learn and connect from the days of cavemen painting stories on the wall before we even had proper language. It really is how we connect within society. So we are telling stories all of the time. We're always using metaphors and examples, and this is us telling stories in a way so that we can understand. So it's the stories and experiences that the older generation may have. Now, if you're younger, you can still pull on stories that you have. You just have to get better at the storytelling part. Number 3 is it's like talking to a friend. So again, you see it's all tying in. It's authentic experiences and stories where you're sharing your stories, some of them more vulnerable, things that you might not share, that you maybe would only share with a friend. And it's that personal, unpolished style. So rather than thinking that you're speaking to a camera, you want to be talking to it like it's a friend. And we've spoken in the community on the calls and stuff that you can have a picture of a friend there if you want, or something around the camera that makes it feel more personal. One of our members, Kier, shout out, he has a little plastic dinosaur stuck to it. So it's just things to make it more fun, more easy, more personal, so that you actually feel like you're talking to a friend. Now, you could be just walking down the road and in the park, out anywhere, talking on your experience and everything else. It's important that you have the single point in your mind, and you want to keep these videos simple, but just speak about that topic as if you were to a friend. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Perfectionism is not your friend when it comes to these types of videos, because the moment you start re-recording and re-recording and re-recording, you lose that flow. And it's not like if you were speaking to a friend, if you made a mistake, you would go, oh, let me start from the beginning again. Your friend would be like, no, you don't need to start from the beginning again. It's fine. So we want that sort of imperfect video content. The next one, point number 4, is it speaks to a particular avatar. And I think this is an important one. So when you speak on certain experiences and everything else, you're automatically going to be speaking to a particular person. So you need to make sure that you're not going too broad. And this will be why some videos work and some don't. But when you start to speak on a particular topic, so in Uncle Jam's case, he's speaking about the struggles of life in a particular country, probably in a particular area. He's relating to his stories actually relate to a particular group of people maybe that understand and relate to that. So you want to speak to a particular avatar. So you really want to make sure that you're speaking to that one person. So a lot like speaking to a friend, you want to make sure that you are speaking to a particular friend who is interested in a particular topic. So you have friends who are interested in particular things, but not interested in other things. You have things that you may speak with your male friends, your mates when you're out having a beer or whatever, that you wouldn't necessarily chat in the same way that you would with your girlfriend. So that's something you need to make sure that the terminology, the way that you're speaking to them, the things that you're talking about relate to a particular avatar. And that particular avatar is more your niche. So the niche is sort of the theme or the overall umbrella of what you actually do. But the avatar is the person within that umbrella that you're actually speaking to. So that one particular individual, that one particular friend on that particular topic. And then finally, number 5 is you speak to their problems. Now, if you're an educational channel, either if that's just, I mean, even the bullying video, that was still education of a form because it makes you feel like other people have gone through things. It makes you relate to it. There will be some lessons in there as well. So it is a form of education. So you are speaking, but you're also speaking to the problems. Now, we want to speak to successes and wins, but we humans, problems draw us in a little bit more. So their struggles, their problems, you want to throw stones at their enemies. You want to really connect with them on that level. So if you can speak to their problems, their issues, their headaches, their wins, their successes, their dreams, their desires, all of those things, but especially the sort of pain points, if you want to turn this into a business, but you want to speak to the desires and the problems. So inevitably the desires will have problems connected to them, but you want to be speaking to their particular problems. And that's where the sort of bullying side and the life struggles and everything else of that channel all tie into that sort of struggle. But then it's also the sort of, as I said, the desires side. So there's other channels in our community that are, they're talking more about the day-to-day life. There's nothing really that negative. They do speak to little problems and the issues and things, but it's more about intriguing their desires, filling the need for their desires. So you can go either way, but inevitably, if you're being authentic, you're going to be speaking to both the pains, the problems, and the desires. So you're going to be speaking to everything, the good, the wins, the good, the bad, and the ugly within that particular niche. Now, I hope you found that useful. If you did, hit the like button, and I will put a link in the video description if you would like more training to our community. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you inside the next one.